What's up, everybody? It's Ty with Outlaw BBQ coming at you with another quick dish meal for today. We're going to be doing pork chops. Why do pork chops? They're easy to do during the week. That you can find them anywhere. They're relatively inexpensive cut of meat. They're going to cook out like a steak. We're going to show you how we sear them off over top of charcoal on our kettle today using our grill grates. We're going to put a nice, easy coat of our Montana Outlaw pork rub on it. It's simple, it's fast, it's inexpensive. You can pair it with any good vegetable, rice, all sorts of things you can do with it. It's good in the summertime, wintertime, all year round. Another quick dish coming at you. Join me. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about the pork chop, why we like it for a good quick dish, let's get some rub on it. Today we're going to be using our pork rub. It's got good savory notes, lots of salt, some sugars. We introduced brown sugar into this one. If you'd like to know more about this rub and a little bit more in-depth detail on how we apply it and why we do certain things, make sure you pop over to our other episode on how to apply rubs and the how-to. And we'll go into a little bit more depth on it. But for today, let's go ahead and rub these down, both sides and the edges. We're gonna get a good rest period while we fire up our Weber kettle, 10 to 15 minutes or whatever device you're cooking on. Let these rest while you're getting that. Go ahead and fire that up. So we're gonna let those sit at room temperature. Today, like I say, pork rub over the top, nice and easy, light to medium coat. Okay, as we apply this rub, like with anything, that we do about 6 inches over the product, nice little back and forth motion. These are good thick cut pork chops, so we can go a little more towards that medium side, I would say. If I was doing a thinner cut, I might not put it on quite this heavy. I'd probably really go more light, but we want to make sure that we get a good amount of rub on there. We're gonna take and tamp that in like we always do. We're gonna flip and repeat that process. Make sure you don't forget about your sides. So for today's pork chop cook, we're gonna be using our Weber kettle. We need to get our charcoals going. We're gonna be cooking over Royal Oak charcoal. It's always a really good, consistent product, puts out a lot of heat. So we're gonna get a nice full basket. That'll be all the charcoals that we need for today's cook. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll head back inside, and we'll start getting these charcoals lit. All right, now that we got our basket full of charcoal, we're on our Weber kettle here. We've got a little bit of paper down in the bottom of our basket. We're just gonna go ahead and ignite it. Should take about 10 to 15 minutes to get lit and get our coals really hot. All this can be done while your pork chops are resting and getting ready to go on the grill. For today's cook, we're gonna be doing 2-zone cooking again. We're gonna have grill grates on here, which I'll show you in a little bit. So when we pour our coals out, we're gonna pour them on one half of the grill, leaving them off the other half. Okay, so we got our coals, they're good and hot. You can see we got flames coming all the way out, which is exactly what we want for today's cook. So we're gonna go ahead and pour them out. This can be hot, so be careful. We're gonna go 2-zone cooking in our kettle today, so we're gonna wanna make sure that the coals are kind of over on this one side. We're gonna put our grate on there, get our grill grates over the top. How's that? Give those grill grates just a second under fire. Okay, we got our top open about halfway, our top vent. Our bottom vent is open almost all the way. We want a lot of airflow. More airflow creates more heat, more direct heat. So we want that nice hot heat. Let those grill grates get hot. Not gonna take very long, just a couple of minutes. We'll hit them with some Pam. Our pork chops have been rested, they're ready to go. So come back. We're about to sear these pork chops off. It's the best part of cooking right there when you get to hear that sear. Okay, so we've had our grill grates on there. They're good and hot. We just squirted them with some Pam. Let's go ahead and get our pork chops on there. So why we want to use those grill grates, they're going to give us a really nice grill mark. Look at how juicy that pork chop is, how nice and moist that is. So we're just going to lay it right across there. And hear that sizzle. So we've got them all on there. We do a minute and a half. We do a half turn, minute and a half, full flip, minute and a half, minute and a half. That's gonna get our sear mark after that. Move it over here to our indirect side to finish them off. Been a minute and a half. Now, we're just gonna roll them because we wanna put a kind of a nice crisscross pattern on there, so just exactly the opposite. That is hot. Okay, another minute and a half, and we'll be right back. We've been about another minute and a half, so it's time to roll these over and see what kind of grill marks we got. Same thing, minute and a half, and come back. Okay, so we've now done our minute and a half on each direction. You can see, if I go ahead and roll this up, you see we got good sear marks on all of them. And we're gonna move them over here. We're gonna do our first temp check. Now, we did 2-zone heating because we want this indirectional option where we're not right over the coals, so when we get our sear marks done, we can slow that cook process down. What we're looking for is an internal temp of about 140 degrees. You can see we're at about 120. And a good way to check that is to go over it and kind of pull out. And you can see that way you don't poke all the way through and get a false reading. So poke through, kind of pull out and see where it levels off at. You can see we're at 126, but we pull it out just a little bit somewhere in between there. So we're gonna give them about 4 or 5 minutes here on this position. And we'll come back and check up temperature. And once we hit our temp, go ahead and hit them with a little glaze. So we'll open these up. Let's go ahead and check our temp on a couple of these. Oh yeah, you can see our temp is looking right where we want it to be. Temp is right there, just over 145. So we're gonna time to go ahead and hit it with a glaze. These you could glaze both sides, but because you're gonna slice it up when you eat it, you really only need to hit the one side of it. Let's go ahead and kind of same thing we do with all our meats. When you got a glaze like this, it's a little thicker. We wanna go ahead and give it a chance, break down but not burn it. So 5 to 10 minutes. Once we glaze it, you can see that glaze. In today's glaze, we're using our favorite combination, which is Blues Hog's Original and Cosmo's Apple Cherry Habanero. It's great color, great flavor, goes good on anything, really. All right, now we got that done. We're gonna go ahead and let this go. 5 to 10 more minutes. I am right now gonna go ahead and start to shut down my bottom a little bit more because I don't need as much heat. And I'm gonna start to choke those coals out. So just right on the heat that's in there. So I close everything down, restrict the airflow, cools it off. I don't need a lot of heat to finish those out. 5 to 10 minutes, we're gonna come back, we're gonna slice them up. I get to taste them, you have to make them, but they're gonna be delicious. All right, welcome back. We got our pork chops off the grill now. They've glazed for about 10 minutes. You can see that shine that's on there. Yeah, you can see where we temp checked them. They're juicy, they're coming out. I'm excited to slice this one open. The smells are great. That glaze with the rub that's on there, it's great color, good smoke. We still see our grill marks on there. Overall, great pork chop cook. I'm excited to get in there and see how it tastes. So I want to talk a little bit about how we slice it, why we slice it that way. With this pork chop, we don't want to you want to treat it like a steak. So the grain is running this way, so we don't want to cut with that. That'll present itself as a much tougher cut of meat. with this. So a couple of things is you don't want to overcook a pork chop. You don't want to take it to 165 or 170 because of that reason. You want to go 145, 150, good medium temperature. And then we're just going to come down and we're going to cut straight down just like that. And you can see it just rolls off. You can go as thick or as thin as you want. I like to go about a number 2 pencil. And for presentation purposes, when I serve this to guests, I like to lay it open just like this. Serve it over a bed of rice. Kind of lay it down just like that. Served over a bed of rice. Some greens, some asparagus, some fresh garden vegetables, however you want it. It just presents really nice. They're good uniform pieces. Let's grab one out of the center here. Let's see what we got. You can see the shine in that. It's super tender, super moist. Go ahead and pull it apart. See how tender that is? I mean, that's just loaded with flavor. It's not dry, super tender. Make sure you check out the products, our rub, everything that goes on there. It's really great. I hope you guys give this a like and a follow and try this recipe at home and let us know what you think of it when you try it. And make sure you leave a comment down below on what you want us to try here on our channel. We'll cook anything, so don't be scared to suggest something. We'll give it a try. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, the bell button, whatever, share with your friends. We're trying to grow this into be something really, really great and really, really cool for all of our Montana Outlaw BBQ fans out there. So please share, like, all of it. Try this recipe. Tell me what you think. Until next time, enjoy.